If you hold crypto and have kids you want to leave it to, you need to watch this. If you're passing on Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, any of the digital assets to your kids, you've got to consider how you are holding it and how you will transfer the operational control of that asset to your children. In this video, I'll walk through why cold storage with biometric keys can create access problems for your kids, why a paper assignment alone won't survive a judge, what an attorney blocker or a distribution trustee adds to the structure, why an online exchange custodian can be your strongest legal proof, and why hiding your Bitcoin and hoping the IRS won't notice is a trap for the unwary. Start with how you're holding crypto. If you're holding your crypto in cold storage with a private key, perhaps a biometrically accessed digital key, say a ledger, you've got to think about more than just where the device lives, more than just where you store it. You have to make sure your kids have access to it and the ability to sign in after your death. Because if it's biometrically accessed, they might be locked out unless you prepare ahead of time. Other people keep their private key on paper in cold storage. They don't have a biometric device. That might be simpler when you don't have a biometric requirement, but think about how you would actually transfer that. How would you actually assign it to a trust or to your LLC and showed that you have effectively assigned it? Sometimes people will write an assignment as part of an LLC or a trust and say, I hereby assign these assets that are in cold storage into my trust, or I assign these digital assets into my LLC, or I assign this crypto into an LLC inside of a 401k. Think about what that means. If you go before a judge and try to prove who's holding those digital assets, if you stand before a judge, before a court, and assert, my LLC owns my digital assets, the judge might want to know, well, where are they stored? Are they in some bank account registered in the LLC? No, they're in my home vault. And I just said on this piece of paper that they're in the LLC. Now, if that's your answer before a judge, if they know that you have complete and total control, physical and operational control of your digital assets, personal custody, they might look dimly on your written assignment into the LLC. They may not like that very much. It may not look like very good evidence. So you have to think about how to really transfer your LLC into your trust or LLC structure in a way that a judge would accept. Now, one option, set up an LLC with an attorney blocker, an attorney that is an organizer on the LLC, who's going to sign any documentation. That puts a third party into the mix. If you do a written assignment with that third party, that's better evidence than simply having your own personal assignment into an LLC. Even better evidence that you've assigned your assets into the trust or an LLC is to have the trust or LLC own the account that the crypto is held in. We have a third party there. When we have the crypto held in an account online, a third party can sign off on that account, namely the exchange. They will produce a statement that shows the crypto is owned in the account. Even better yet, on this spectrum of evidence of crypto being put into your trust or LLC is to have a distribution trustee. That's a third party that's required to sign off on any distributions out of the trust. And if they are authorized in your exchange account as a countersigner, that countersignature authority makes an even stronger case. If you go before a judge and ask that same question, how is your digital assets assigned into your LLC or trust? And you're able to produce an account statement and have a third-party attorney blocker or even a third-party distribution trustee show that they also agree that the asset is in the LLC or in the trust, you have the strongest potential evidence. This stronger evidence might be a bit controversial because people are concerned about putting assets online, and there have been a lot of issues. Think about like Mt. Gox, where there was some online hacking. But if you can find a trusted online exchange to be your custodian, level of evidence that your digital assets are actually coordinated and funded with your LLC or trust. With those online accounts, you can have a succession plan. You can sometimes have counter signatures. And if a judge asks you to prove whether your digital assets are in your LLC or whether they're funded into your trust, you simply print out the account statement from that exchange. It should say the name of the LLC on it. The account should say the name of the trust. It should say the name of the LLC. That's a third-party identifier. That's third-party corroboration that your trust or LLC is funded. And that third party, under the new 1099 DA rules, will also produce any tax reports to the IRS in the name of that entity. So you can add third-party verification and even a government agency on the list of parties that agree with you that you've got your digital assets into the LLC. Much stronger than cold storage. Much stronger than a personal assignment to yourself of your cold storage assets. Much stronger than simply an LLC that you've assigned to yourself. Much stronger than having an attorney blocker. Stronger than having a distribution trustee, having a third-party custodian. You can see how when you layer on those operational controls, we build better evidence that the LLC or trust is funded with the cryptocurrency. Now, passing digital assets onto your kids. Some people are tempted to say, I'm going to hide my crypto key, and then my kids will find it and we'll keep it hidden until they find it. Now, that's a trap for the unwary. Your kids will eventually need access to that cryptocurrency online, and the government will get reports of that. Blockchain crawlers, advanced cryptography, FinCEN, and the IRS will be able to pull reports of any of your transfers. So you're basically causing an impairment to the value of your crypto by hiding it. Crypto isn't like a tangible personal asset like gold or precious metals where people could potentially hold it and not have detection. This is an asset I often call transparo-currency because the government will be able to access it and determine all the records, all of its provenance, its origin. You won't simply be able to hide your crypto and hope that nobody's going to detect it. That's not a good move. And then I would reference back to all the questions of whether it's actually in that LLC or actually in the trust. But don't go hiding your cryptocurrency under your mattress. Don't go stashing it in a box or burying it in a trunk and leaving behind a treasure map. When your kids actually go to use it, they'll end up with a litany of tax problems. They're going to be seeking to do some sort of IRS amnesty and reporting to go backwards and try to find available records in order to make it a usable asset. That's not an enjoyable thing. That's not leaving your digital assets as a legacy. That's leaving your crypto to create a mess. I could say the same thing for gold, really. If people actually want to go dispose of any precious metal, of any asset, any broker would require reporting. And brokers will require reporting of digital assets. It's the new rule for them. How you hold your digital assets and how you prove you transferred it are two different problems, and you have to solve both. But that raises the obvious question, should I use a trust or an LLC? Which one do you actually need? Check out this next video where I put both structures to the test and show you how each one is really helping to protect crypto. Spoiler alert, you're going to need both a trust and an LLC to really secure and protect your cryptocurrency.